What should you expect when seeking out a financial advisor? Stick around. We're going to talk through that. So when you're seeking out a financial advisor, there's a few things you should expect to look for and how that financial advisor will relate with you. We're talking through a framework of 5 C's today. And Allison, why don't you kick us into that first one?
Sure. First C is collaboration. And really, when you're working with a financial advisor, this should be a collaborative process. You should be co-creating the plan with the advisor. This is not just being provided advice or them recommending solutions right away. In that first meeting, you should expect to talk and be answering a lot of questions and have the advisor be mostly listening, not really recommending solutions at that time. You also want your advisor to collaborate with other professionals in your life, your attorney or your tax preparer, to make sure that you're optimizing, taking advantage of opportunities and avoiding any mistakes. We find that a lot with during tax season, reviewing tax returns, we find missed opportunities or corrections that can be made. And it's great when that can happen prior to the return being submitted, rather than having to, after the fact, amend the return and wait on the IRS.
You're also hopeful that your advisor has a certain set of credentials, right?
Exactly. So you want your advisor to be certified. Unfortunately, anyone can call themselves a financial advisor. That can be on anyone's business card. It doesn't necessarily mean that they went to any kind of school or training to use that job title. So you want to look for somebody who has certification. Certified financial planner is the gold standard in the industry of people who are providing personal financial advice. You might also see a chartered retirement planning counselor, or CPA, CFA. Those are other designations to look for. But that is a red flag if someone is calling themselves a financial advisor and you don't see that they have training or credentials to match.
So, and you hope that your advisor is continuing to stay educated of the changes.
Exactly. So the field of financial advice is constantly changing. Your life is going to be changing. The tax code changes. There's always something new to learn and discover. So the certified financial planner designation requires 30 hours of continuing education every 2 years. All of our advisors here at Financial Symmetry are also members of NAPFA, which requires double that, 60 hours every 2 years. So this really allows your advisor to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in the industry and take advantage of those opportunities for you. We saw this a lot last year with the Secure Act, the CARES Act, the RMD holiday. There were a lot of things that came up really quickly that we had to adapt to and take into those planning considerations.
And then a fourth key here is how your advisor communicates with you consistently, right?
Yes, communication is key. Here you want to think about hiring an advisor who is proactive, both to market and tax code changes and how those things affect you. Also someone who's responsive to your calls, emails, and questions. And there may be, times where you need to communicate about something, but no action needs to be taken. So important to keep in mind that money can be like a bar of soap. The more you handle it, the less of it there is. So we want to make sure that a lot of times we're talking through issues, but there might be times when no action is required.
Then our fifth one here encompasses all of these, and it's the compounding value that you're seeking out here.
Exactly. So a financial advisor should provide value that compounds over time. So you should have more money after paying a financial advisor than you would have been otherwise on your own. And this can be a tough one to quantify because, as we mentioned in the podcast, this isn't a choose your own adventure. We don't get to see an alternate scenario of Chad's life where he made bad decisions and bought a beach house he couldn't afford. Unfortunately, we don't have that alternate scenario to compare to. But we want to be thinking about your return on life, what you're able to do that you might not otherwise have been able to do without the assistance of a financial advisor. And we've seen that a lot with clients who come into money, potentially an inheritance, and they wait a long time before they get those funds invested because they're unsure and they procrastinate, and that costs them money over the long run.
Yeah, and I love the quote from Jack Butcher from Visualize Value. He says, value is doing things that other people don't do, won't do, or can't do. So accountability is a huge asset of a financial advisor and something you should be expecting to find in your search for a financial advisor. We have many other articles that explore a lot of different topics on financial planning on our website at financialsymmetry.com. And you can subscribe here if you don't want to miss our next episode. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Chad.